What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. So excited about this video. If you're new to us
and we're new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 200K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, alright? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Let's get it.
It has been over 200 years since our exile from St. Vincent, and somehow we have managed to survive as an identifiable group of people. We have managed to preserve our language and our cultural traditions up to this point in time. I think that the main reason for that is that the Garifuna person is not individualistic. The traditional Garifuna person is a member of a group, and he does not rely on himself as an individual for his own survival. So that there has been a strong sense of community among us in that community.
I gotta say, off the back, so you know how people be like, well, I got this gift, I got this purpose, this passion, I got something I really want to do, but I'm too nervous to do it. There's a community out there waiting for you to do it, so they can support you. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same with the Garifuna. He felt like they're not individuals. There are people out there that was around that time that was doing and going through and having the same similarities as the first Garifuna. To say, right? Yeah, and as a community, they were band together and they understood each other. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, that's your tribe. That's who you are. They know you for who you are. You know what I'm saying? It's that connection you can't get rid of.
Right, and they stuck together.
Yeah, 100%.
You know? A lot of people don't know about the shipwreck. So that's an interesting story. Maybe one day, I don't know if we dove into it on the last video. That was some months ago that we did. But this is a contrast to the video that we did, because the video that we did focused on the Garifuna in the United States and how they assimilated in African American culture, and they lost that. So this is going to be an interesting video, because he's already talking about how they held on to it. So how do you go from holding on to something where you are, and then when you move to a new place, you lose it? Because they were even talking about how they lost their language, and now they had classes to where they can relearn their language and hold on to that heritage. So.
Yeah. Well, you know me, I like to paint a picture. It's like a eagle's egg rolling into a chicken's nest.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? When
not dinosaur train.
When it hatches, whoa.
That's a little show on the kids.
I know, she be with the kids all the time. That's why. But once that egg hatch and they start to realize the culture is not of itself.
Yeah.
Well, he don't even realize that the culture is different. It just start to live like it is and start to realize that I'm chilling the way I'm chilling because of who I'm around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they do lose themselves when they're in this environment that they're not used to, and they have to adapt to it.
Especially one like the United States, where it's like, if you're here, you're here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean by that. So let's see.
We have spoken our language. We have performed our rituals. We have gone about the business of surviving, and our culture, our music, our ritual, our everything has been interwoven into that way of life.
Like this not too long ago. Yeah. It was a lady. She had something just like that, whatever that was, and she was pouring like this corn starch.
She just processed something.
Thingy, and then she might do this. So just hold on. But she take it. She gonna spread it around, and it turns into like this big tortilla, right? And then she flip it and she cook it on the other side, and then she just keep repeating the process.
Okay, is that similar to like a chapati?
I don't know, like whatever. I wish I knew who this lady, like where she was from. You know what I'm saying, to relate it, but. Yeah, exactly what I saw.
Garifuna Dwell respects themselves. Garifuna Dwell respects older people. Garifuna Dwell respects the environment. Now, if I'm related to the earth, then I'm not going to harm the earth. If I'm related to you, I'm going to be good to you and you're going to be good to me. Hence,
Bars.
Aubu Amurnu, that concept of reciprocity, is very key to the Garifuna understanding of who he is and the cosmos around him. I would like to think that the Garifuna understanding of its spirituality and its relationship with God is different than the Santeria and the Shango and the Obia. There should be no confusion at all in your being a Garifuna and you being a Christian. There isn't a saint in our spirituality as such that we make sacrifices. It's purely the ancestor. We believe that the ancestor, the older the ancestor, the wiser the ancestor, and the more respect that ancestor should have from us. And so if we rely on the ancestor, then the ancestor is going to lead us in the correct way. Many will argue, especially the religious leaders of the established churches, will argue that there is no such thing as a Garifuna religion. I will always maintain that there is that height of spirituality in the Garifuna that it can qualify to be a religion. Now, I would imagine that a lot of people would contend that it is not a religion because they do not see it as a way of life. But Garifuna Dual is a way of life. I'm comfortable with living it. I'm comfortable with being a Garifuna. As a matter of fact, before I'm a priest, I'm a Garifuna. So I always say when I'm introducing myself, I am a Garifuna priest, not the other way around. Because I do not see a contradiction and because I do not see a separation, I am comfortable in the temple, in the ancestral house. I have no problem. I am comfortable at a night. I am comfortable when we're bathing the dead. Lemes, as a matter of fact, the word that is commonly used for mass. Lemes is not mass as such. Lemes is a celebration of healing. All right, like all of our celebrations are celebrations of healing. If I am going to be the priest that the church expects me to be, I have to be who I am. Otherwise, to use the words of my bishop, I would be the shell. I would be a shell of a priest.
Talking about it.
No substance.
No substance.
I love everything he just said about, you know, his heritage and about the spirituality. I have a personal, I said I wasn't going to talk about this. I have a personal testament of that, and I just always respected the person who showed that they were who they were, and there was no separation between the two.
I like that.
So the way that he just explained it, it was just, he made it plain for me. So I respect that. Y'all feel that?
Yeah. You kind of talking about yourself in that aspect as well.
I am?
A person who shows themselves as they are and they don't really switch up for nobody.
Okay.
100%.
Well, let's talk about the spirituality. Because a lot of times, like in the churches that we have been a part of, they would say before anything that they are a Christian. Which I respect. I see nothing wrong with that. But how he just said, like, he showed a connection to his heritage and to his culture. And he said, before I'm a Christian, I'm a Garifuna. And so it just, I've never heard someone say that they are, like, for us, that would be, I'm black before I'm a Christian. You know, here people would look down on that if we was to say something like that. So for him to say that and me to have a personal testament to it, it's like, now I see why that person is the way she is.
Because I feel when you walk in the spirit, your flesh has to be obedient. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta die to it.
Yeah. And you don't really switch up. Like, you understand the tests and the trials, and you see what's happening. You have a level of discernment towards situations, like, but you're true to you. You know what I'm saying? Because of what you are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right.
Facts.
And people's Christian walk don't look the same.
Oh, no. Oof.
You know?
Oh,
But we ain't
no.
gonna talk about that. We ain't going there. Baby, that's one thing I'm like, baby, you keep your beliefs.
No. What you should say is, if you would have caught us about, how many years ago?
About 5.
Would have been all in your face with it.
No, not 5. About 6.
No, a little longer than that.
No, about 6 years.
Yeah, would have been like right in your grill with it,
Yeah.
like hard down.
But we have grown.
When we have Dugu, when we have the ancestral celebrations in the ancestral house, it's not only for this family, but we invite people. People are supposed to come from all over. And when people come from Labuga, for instance, from Honduras, even from the United States, they bring songs with them. Okay? And that is one way of expanding our repertoire, if you wish, of the songs that we know.
There are songs associated with different parts of the Dugu. The part where we meet the Adugaria who go out to collect fish and seafood, and they're met at the seaside, and there's a procession. There's a particular type of song for that. There are songs for the opening parts of the Dugu. There are songs for the offering. There are songs for killing chickens.
Everything.
I have to see
Where am I
that.
bringing the neck?
Wait a
Whoa.
minute,
Pause.
okay?
Hold on.
I
Yeah.
have to see that.
I thought they used to just take about a neck and go haywire. Yeah.
A warning would have been great.
Man,
I haven't seen that in so long.
Real talk.
Living in
Real
the
talk.
country.
Come out with his maracas, his rattle. And there are those where he's not supposed to do that. And you're not supposed to mix them up.
One of the unique things to me
Yeah,
about the Garifuna spirituality
All the
is
women have
that
chickens.
the sacred and the profane seem to exist simultaneously. In the Western understanding of religion and spirituality, that could never happen.
We was just talking about that.
Yes.
If we was to say something, if we was to go up in front of church and say what he said, maybe they would escort us out. Escort, okay? So that's why I love just hearing different cultures, beliefs, and just understanding their spirituality. You don't always have to agree with what someone says, but it will just help you to understand people and the way that they do things, and just their whole way of life different.
Yeah.
You know?
Because at the end of the day, it's a heart check.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody may have different walks, but it's a heart check. And it's supposed to be printed on your heart. So whatever is printed on your heart is who you're going to display yourself to be at the worst and most best times.
Right.
So.
Right. One of the, like, an example that I could say is, like, with me with activism work, a lot of people in church would look down on it because they're like, oh, you shouldn't be this vocal. But when we go back in time, the reason we have a lot of what we have today came from organizations organizing in the church house.
Yeah.
They were vocal. Dr. Martin Luther King was vocal.
Facts.
Okay? Malcolm X was, well, it wasn't the church house. It was different. But it was speciality. He was vocal.
Nah,
okay?
Facts.
All these people was vocal. So.
Even Ali.
Vocal.
Yeah.
When you're taking the food out of the ancestral house to go and either bury it or throw it into the sea, the drums have to play.
Wait, why
There has to be dancing and merrymaking when that is going on. There is a lot of healing that takes place around Belize. Right after the person is buried, we have the 9 days of prayers. The 9 night itself is a very right after the person is buried, we have the 9 days of prayers. The 9 night itself is a very sad moment because that is when you say the final farewell. Drums is a new invention for the Belize, but people used to clap hands and they used to dance and they went all night. Then we graduated from the clapping of hands to boxes. You remember the times when we used to have boxes, wooden boxes? Then we graduated from there to Kupara. Then from there, the drums came, so that we have drums now for the celebration.
And if you're around my age, you was beating on a desk with a pencil. Yeah, like real talk. Cafeteria tables, everything. Like,
When I first listened to those drums, when I first saw this girl in sandbite dancing and singing, like shouting, crying, smiling, laughing on the same time, moving her hips in such a way with those drums, I was like, what's that? Is that a Beluria? Is that 9 nights? That happened when somebody's dead? Oh my God, that's something to be known for the whole world.
Now, a lot of people, and I think this is from the Western influence, a lot of people do not like, especially today, do not like the levity, the celebration, the singing and the dancing at Beluria. But that too is healing.
Music and dance.
all right, y'all, we're gonna stop it right there, man. Yeah, I feel like this is very informative. You know what I'm saying? They dove into it. I feel like they gave some good information out.
Yeah. So there are more ports. So if y'all want us to cover all of the ports, let us know.
Talk to us.
We'll do this. This was very interesting. I feel like the Garifuna culture, the people, the history, we need to cover that. People need to know about it. When I think about the Garifuna, I think about the scripture. Weapons may form, but they will not prosper. Okay? Their history is very unique. Alright, so we hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Peace.